All right, here we go. We're going to call the meeting to order. Colchester Planning Commission, 7:02. First item on the agenda, considerations reserved for changes to the agenda, items and order. We're not changing anything. Community comments and questions from the public. We're all set there tonight. Then we move right into a discussion on potential amendments to the Colchester Development Regulations Supplement 49. Yeah.
Supplement 49. Soon you get to Supplement 50. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
The big 5-0.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for meeting tonight. I think just to set the stage a little bit, I've been working on Supplement 49 for a little bit now. Purpose of tonight's meeting, I think, is sort of to wrap things up with it and kind of finalize the item. So if there's any final comments or questions that you have before this list gets finalized and a public hearing is warned, now's the time to go through them. I'll just provide a quick update since your last meeting in December. Very few changes. I recall staff and the commission walking through the list, not making a lot of changes. There were a couple changes that you all wanted to see under the mobile food unit section, and those changes have been made, so I'll just pull those up here, and I will zoom in, don't worry. But under mobile food units, and I would pull up the memo, but I apologize, I think we might have put an outdated screenshot in the memo, so I would just take a look at what's on the screen here. Since your last meeting, we've added item 10. So at your last meeting, there was discussion about outdoor lighting. Right now, for context, if you want to construct or put up a light on a property, you have to get site plan approval at minimum from the Development Review Board. There's certain limitations on fixtures, such that they need to be downcast, shielded, can't emit beyond property boundaries. There's certain mounting height restrictions. Those result in average illumination standards that are measured in foot candles, uniformity ratios, so how uniform light is distributed across the site. And that is a lot of work. A lighting professional needs to provide that, and it makes total sense for large commercial projects. Does not seem right-sized in this situation for a temporary mobile food unit, so you wanted to see some language that allowed lighting in a less, permit-heavy review. So this language was provided here. This section exempts lighting for mobile food units, except that they shall be downcast, shielded, and shall not emit further than 20 feet from the perimeter of the truck and never beyond the boundaries of the property. And it also specifically prohibits floodlighting.
Okay, so they can't just have the open bulb string lights.
Correct. I mean, unless they were downcast and shielded, which I have not seen a string light.
Yeah, they're not. Okay.
Are there any? I mean, happy to work through some of this language, but.
I think that sums up what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean.
If you want the thing, you can change it now. We can still move forward.
It's not like we want to make it a party, so I think we're okay.
Sure.
And they're not supposed to be open past 9 p.m. And in the summer, that's basically when the sun goes down. So.
Yep.
Yes. And I think, generally, I think we'll look for some details on lighting, and part of our permit process, I think, is also educating applicants on what the expectation is. So, while we talk about hours of operations and lighting, we'll talk about those hand in hand.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good?
And then the other item that was just clarified and language was actually put into it was 1016C, zoning permit required. So you had mentioned that you would like to see this being an administrative zoning permit process. This language was added. It's very similar to our language in Article 11 that requires zoning permits. So this language would require someone to come in and get a zoning permit from our office before they operate or place a mobile food unit on property,
And that's just through you guys.
just through us.
Yep.
And I will also mention that table A1 was updated, and I'll go to that now. Table A1 is the table of uses, and that is where mobile food units do live, so that you can see where they're allowed in each zoning district. They are use 8.400 mobile food units. Previously, they were conditional use in many districts. They were actually only allowed as conditional uses in most districts. After a discussion at the last meeting where we walked through each zoning district, this was the culmination of that, and these are now permitted in the zoning districts here.
Okay, so in LS1 and LS2, it's permitted, but not on the residential properties.
Correct.
Okay.
And that goes back to the language in 1016. So it's non-residential properties in the districts where there's a P in that column. I think most of the discussion focused on the agricultural district. And you all left it with that you would not like to see mobile food units in that district at this time. All right.
Can you go back to 10.16-B, item 3, because the notes were different, I think. I believe you got the health department in there. Yep, you did. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to just needing some documentation. If they're exempt from one, they might be covered by the other.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, were there any other questions? I mean, we can go back through the list if you would like, but I believe you did do that your last meeting, so I don't want to be duplicative.
No, but I did see one thing,
Okay,
page 13.
page 13. Do you have a section number?
10.01-D. That's right, you're not in the same thing I am. Okay.
10.01-D?
Dash D as in dog. It's the little table for the excess parking. Okay, there
Yes.
you go. Minor thing that makes a difference.
Is it what prefaces the 25?
Where it says greater than 25, you need to reverse the little arrow.
It does need to be reversed.
Okay.
I was driving myself a little bit up a wall by Googling less than or greater than signs, because I was like, am I wrong here? So I'm glad you've brought it up,
Okay.
because that needs to be corrected.
Okay. It makes a big difference, that's all.
It does create a confusing situation.
Good catch.
That's all I got.
Anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Okay. You wanna rehash
Looks
ADU
good, looks
sizes?
great.
Yeah, everything else, nothing else was changed? You didn't do
Nothing
anything
else.
different for the ADU, right?
Nothing else has changed with the accessory dwelling units.
No. Well, that one got complicated, but we were
Yeah.
finalizing the last meeting, right?
Yeah, we can just go up to that language here. Yeah, so you'll see the change here is primarily with the usage of habitable floor area. Like Kathy M was saying, that's consistent with state statute. And adding the definition will lend to consistency in our interpretation of it.
It's good.
All right?
Yep.
So then, the two follow-up items are the two motions that are at the end of your memo. Basically, the purpose of the first one being that there's a pre-hearing report that goes to the Department of Housing and Community Development. So I believe the first motion is for that, and the second motion is to warn a public hearing. I'll pull those up on your screen here. Second one is to warn a public hearing for February 3rd, which is your first meeting in February. You will want to note in that motion that as amended tonight per Rebecca Arnold's recommendation under 1001D.
Okay.
All right.
Would like to take care of that?
I'll make a motion that we accept the amendment and adoption report as drafted to be included in the public warning and distributed accordingly.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Pass.
Wait,
Can I get a
who's the second?
Oh,
Letter. All right.
did I say second? I think you just did it, right? That works for me.
I think you were just
Perfect.
operating with, well.
Yeah, we're on a roll.
Can I make another motion?
Yep.
Okay. I make a motion that we warn for Planning Commission public hearing at 7 PM on February 3rd, 2026. The proposed amendments to the Colchester Development Regulations, known as Supplement 49, and as reviewed, considered, and amended as I did tonight, say Rebecca Arnold, this evening of January 6, 2026.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go. Motion's passed.
All right, thank you both. You've now given me more work to do, but that's all right. Take care of that. Get everything ready for that February 3rd meeting.
Yeah, nice and simple. Good job. All right, now we need to consider approval of minutes. We need a motion.
I motion that we approve the minutes of January, what day was that?
December.
December 2nd.
Yep.
Yep. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. All right, now we're down to miscellaneous items. Monthly report, confirm our next meetings.
All right, so I believe in your packet, the November monthly report was in there. If there wasn't, I apologize.
No, there was.
It was, good.
There was.
If there's any questions about that, please let me know. In terms of next meeting dates, you have agreed to meet now on February 3rd, 2026 for the public hearing on Supplement 49. Currently, we are holding February 17th as a town plan kickoff meeting. Are there any questions about that day? Anyone not feeling like they're going to be available that day?
I'm fine.
Seems to work well. Okay. So with that in mind, that's what your February is going to look like. We'll plan to do some publicity for that meeting. well ahead of time, just to make sure that it, gets some drummed up attendance. Any questions about additional meetings or anything else that you'd like to see beyond that point? I mean, I think we'll likely at the February 3rd meeting kind of look out to March and plan beyond that point.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, Kathy had started that tabulation, so
Yes, Kathy.
That'd be good.
And I can talk a bit about it, but right now, just to give you a general overview, going from the town plan kickoff in mid-February, beginning of March, town meeting day, not a strong next step for work for the town plan. Maybe some writing might occur on that day. Beyond that, mid-March, start getting into the topics and the neighborhoods. That'll continue through the summer. So right now, Kathy Ann's got that, starting with, cultural resources and housing of note. The regional housing targets are, of course, still being twisted and turned, and, we don't know what those numbers are yet. So we have an idea, and we can start talking about it, but likely good to start talking early, because that conversation will probably evolve. But yeah, I think we'll plan to revisit that in February to solidify those next steps.
Okay. The, back to the report that you sent us, did I look at it correctly where it looks like year-to-date we're down on permitting? On multiple
Yes.
items? Yeah, that's what I
So, and I compile these reports year over year. Yeah, we're definitely a bit slower, especially on residential permitting.
yeah.
Sometimes we've seen larger development at, for example, Sunderland Farms come in, or Severance Corners. Haven't seen a lot of activity over there. Some planning activity, but not, shovel in the ground activity
Right.
there.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was looking at it correctly.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for looking at it, because sometimes I wonder if anyone's looking at it.
Yeah, I definitely looked through it.
yeah,
Yeah.
not too bad, though.
No, we're still moving.
Yeah, there's always some standout things in here. Like one year, the DRB denied like 5 or 6 applications, and that was kind of a like, whoa, what happened that year?
Yeah,
But generally, it does seem like the big takeaway right now is that permitting slowed down a little
yeah.
bit.
Mostly when they deny, it's because it doesn't fit into zoning, or they can't make the property work.
That year, it was a variety
Was
of issues, one of which was somebody who wanted to be denied so they could take the next step and go to court with that property owner. But yeah, generally, the DRB has to deny something when it does not meet the development regulations.
Okay.
And we as staff do our best to work with applicants to get them to yes if we can, but sometimes, they have the right to go before the development review board and possibly get a no.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Okay, well, like we said, this one was going to be quick. Anything else? Then we need a motion to adjourn.
Well, then I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are
We
adjourned.
haven't had a short meeting like this.
Oh, my God.
Just like
I don't
that.
know what to do.
Got you running like full throttle. But it was awesome that you made it here. It was a great step to finish out 49.
Yeah,
That was a haul, 49, and we did a lot of stuff.
I do. Do I have a pen?